for me mama kwaba Eleba Ghanatube so aha ena ensema ekoso ewo yen man Ghana mu no onsa ebeka alafo nsema ekoso ewo Ghana mu de edoso ye papa na enisoso mese makwa koboaboa ebi ano ede apel alafo yembohwi na enkotie ensem no na yembra.
Well, first up, the Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Siama has assured that the days of extreme volatility for the cedi against the dollar are behind us. The Ghanaian currency has shown remarkable stability in recent times, even experiencing occasional appreciation against the dollar. The positive trend has been further supported following a staff-level agreement with the IMF. In an interview with Joy Business in Washington, D.C., Dr. Siama emphasized that this upward momentum will continue.
How does the bank take this?
Well, it's been broad-based. Remember a number of things. The external sector has been quite strong, admittedly, in the last couple of years. We've seen some strength, further strengthening there as well. Remittances has been doing very well. Gold, gold is the new kid on the block. Gold inflows have been doing very, very well. And also, don't forget cocoa. Cocoa inflows have also been doing quite well. And so on the whole, and when it comes to coordination as well, if you see the way the fiscal has been, has been running so far, that has been supportive, as well. So it's all about discipline. It's all about a strong, external sector. That is what you are seeing on the cedi. Going forward, we think that we have enough reserves, to be able to preserve the stability. But I must be quick to add that we are not, going to operate a fixed exchange rate regime. The cedi is an endogenous variable. It has to be, allowed, to float. It can go up, it can come down. Our, focus is to ensure that it is not excessive when it comes to its volatility. And so we are aware of trends this week. We are monitoring, issues. We believe that the market is resetting. We believe that expectations are being re-anchored. And so we are on top of the game. We are observing it by the minute, and we'll look at it,
Doc, do you think that the market is responding to the good news coming from the fourth review, the reserve accumulation? Because the cedi has seen some strong rallying, even going into this week as well. I know you are already aware. What do you make of this development?
Absolutely. So that's why I said it's a broad-based of factors. The staff-level agreement, it was like a seal of approval that yes, we are restoring macroeconomic stability, we are doing the right things. And then the fact that, of course, don't also forget that the dollar itself, is weakening as well. But then the external sector has been strong. Those inflows have been doing pretty well. Gold is doing so well now. Our prayer is that the trend continues. But what I can tell you is that the days of excessive volatility in the cedi, it's coming to an end. Macroeconomic stability is a public good. What we have on our hands still is the fight against inflation. But so long as the cedi is, strengthening, or then it also makes it easier for us to control inflation going forward.
Meanwhile, the IMF is rejecting that Ghana's program with the fund is under threat and risk ending without meeting critical targets. Here's George Rafa with more from Washington, D.C.
Speaking at a special engagement with a group of Ghanaian journalists here in Washington, D.C., the head of the mission for Ghana, Stefan Rode, noted that Ghana's program with the fund is on track and doesn't see any challenges with it as we speak right now.
If you look at the PFM Act, that 1.5% of GDP primary balance is enshrined in the law. It's not just an objective that is negotiated by the IMF. It is actually Ghanaian law. So that makes us quite confident that this is going to be achieved going forward, and that it will help tremendously with bringing down debt going forward and making the Ghanaian economy more resilient. That will help assuage concerns about debt vulnerabilities going forward.
He was, however, quick that this is dependent on government sticking to the program conditions to ensure that it ends on a good note.
But of course, there is a but, and the but is that the program has to be implemented. So the government has to adhere to the target, right? the program, the government has to implement the reforms that are planned for in the program. This is very important. So it's not just today, but it's in the next few years. Program commitments have to be to continue to be implemented. Certainly 2025, 26, the budget for 26 will be important as well.
He's ruling out that Ghana may have to extend the program due to the challenges that they are looking forward to in the coming years.
You know, to be frank, this is not something that we have discussed with the authorities. Because of what we have discussed and the deterioration in performance in 2024, the focus in the context of this mission that just took place was very much on what needs to be done to make sure that the program is on track and to make sure that those objectives are achievable. This was really what the discussions focused on.
The head of mission for Ghana, Stefan Rode, has also been responding to argument on the basis that went to the fund reaching a star-level agreement with Ghana, looking at the targets for 2024 as well as the forward-looking commitment by this administration.
A lot of the forward-looking component had to do with how to make sure that, given that underperformance, how to make sure that the program objectives remain achievable going forward, and what type of policies have to be implemented to make sure that the objectives are achievable. So we talked about the fiscal situation. We had some slippages. The performance was not as good as envisaged. But do we have policies now in place to make sure that the objectives are achievable going forward? And the response is yes.
The head of mission also maintained that the fund supports government plan to bring in private participation when it comes to ECG and its operations.
Most recently, what we have done with the new government is to discuss continued implementation of these reforms. And what we have heard from the new government is that they are very committed to those reforms and to try to sort out the challenges in the energy sector. They are not going to be resolved from one day to the other because the size of the shortfall is large, but they are very committed to accelerating those reforms and to try to reduce the size of the shortfall going forward and to try to tackle the issue of the accumulation of arrears.
On plans by government to explore the international market, the head of mission for Ghana argued that Ghana is on track and could look at that from 2027.
I believe what we have in terms of assumption in the program is market reaccess in 2027. To be frank, I don't think it's an immediate concern. The program has been designed in such a way that together with financing from the IMF, together with financing from the World Bank, and the government being able to finance itself in the domestic markets, this should be sufficient to cover all of the needs that we have talked about, the needs related to financing whatever is falling due in terms of debt, the needs to be able to finance whatever financing needs are there.
There have been some argument about commitment and spending by the previous administration and what should be done to realize how these payments can be made. Stefan Rode has been given some clarification to it.
And what we have seen for inflation is that the central bank has increased in the policy rate, so tightened monetary policy. And what we are seeing also is that the government has a budget that entails significant fiscal adjustment. I think taken all of that together, it makes us very confident that inflation is going to go down in the next few months and towards the program objectives.
There has been current argument about whether the global tariff war will impact badly on Ghana. Well, the head of mission has argued that he doesn't see Ghana suffering that much when it comes to the direct impact.
The current environment has also some positive side effects on Ghana. Think about what is happening to the gold market. Gold prices are at a record high, and so Ghana's external sector, Ghana's balance of payment are benefiting tremendously from the very high gold prices, and this is very supportive of the external position.
The head of mission for Ghana argued and believed that the program is indeed on track if government sticks to the conditions, believing that we will end the program in May 2026 without having any headwinds or challenges that would force us to extend the program. From the headquarters of the International Monetary Fund in Washington, D.C., this is George Yafre reporting for Joy Business.
Ebusiafo insama etwegum ewo Ghana no eno ena ukotie ene bi so ohweye no measure say all the comments no ebebre me ewo comment section na megibre akenkan ni na ede amofefefe me ka wo say aha Ghanatube insama ekoso ewo yeman mu onsa ebeka enti ene na dofo on subscribe ya subscribe mami na hit notification bell no for more updates ebituma na wenya ne interpass remember we free say obe like e videos ni na afi so wa share ede amaye sisi ade odofusu ni